Hello, happy Wednesday. So if you hop on, say hello. If you watch the replay, say replay. If I can help you with anything, you're going to comment Wednesday. So what a day it's been. All right, I just need to do a little bit of skincare. It's a story. Anyway, I got my Aura ring in. I hear it takes a few weeks for it to learn you, I guess is the right word. I saw someone else who had it new and she was like, I know I slept more than 2 hours. And someone else commented and said, you did. It's just learning your rhythm, learning who you are, whatever. I don't like that I'm supposed to wear it on my left hand, right? With my wedding ring. I would love to wear it here just in place of my normal ring. I don't know. If you have an Aura ring, do you wear it on your dominant hand or your non-dominant hand? Their suggestions is ring finger of non-dominant, which I understand why. You know, you tend to use that hand less-ish, but I don't know. It's not really the preferred place I want it. And I don't know if I should change it before I start training it. Does that make sense? I don't know. Let me know what you think. So, what was I going to say? Oh, heavens. I don't remember. I've got some links in the description for some different bundles I have going on right now. Our skincare is on sale currently. So this eye cream is part of my finishing bundle, which has the rose water and the eye cream, lip mask, eye mask. So if you have a skincare regimen that you already like, adding these on help, right? Because these are just the items that help you finish, right? Eye cream, eye masks, lip mask, rose water, just some good extras. All right, and then I'm gonna come in with our day cream. I love the consistency of this, and it is so hydrating. You hop on, say hello. If you watch the replay, say replay. We're just gonna do some skincare real fast, and then I'll move into makeup in a little bit. Not forget the forehead. So if you watched yesterday, Monday, our gate decided not to work at the end of our driveway. And had a guy come out yesterday, and it is the board. The motherboard is fried, whatever. So a week ago, we had our pool guy here, and he wanted to clean our filter. And we were like, oh, we really want to order a new filter. Like, we inherited that filter when we moved in. And they're not that expensive. So I was like, I'd rather just kind of start fresh. And we know we started fresh in 25, you know, kind of a good marker year to remember those things. So he had been scheduled to replace the filter today. And the filter and all the pool equipment are in the same exact space as the motor motherboard thing for the gate. So I'm out there with our pool guy, and the gate guy calls, and he's like, I can be at your house in 10 minutes. And I'm like, no, you can't come right now. I said, our pool guy's about to dismantle the filter, and y'all can't be in that same space at the same time. He goes, I'll be fast. And I'm like, he's already dismantling it. Like, you can't be back there at the same time. And he seemed like really kind of unhappy with my answer, which I'm like, hi, I'm going to pay you a pretty penny here, right? So anyway, I think he's going to come tomorrow and fix the gate. But I was like, oh, can you wait an hour? And he's like, I don't think I can. And I'm like, okay, then it'll have to be tomorrow. Because, like, I kind of look at it as I had already scheduled the pool guy to do this a week ago. And yes, the gate is a problem, but that just crept up this week. So we have to go in order of priorities. Now, what I like about our skincare is it is so moisturizing and all of that, but it also absorbs well. So I'm fine with going in right now and starting my primer. And I just put this on. It's not something where I need to sit for 30 minutes and let it all soak in or do anything like that. we're ready to go. All right, so dot primer everywhere. I feel like the house saga continues. It's not one thing, it's another. I was telling my dad about it, and I mentioned this yesterday, but this is our first house to own. And so, you know, as things creep up, it's always just like, oh heavens, now what? And so I was telling him the latest thing, and he said, I know, but it's your house. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make me feel any better when I'm writing the check for that. Thank you. Or laying down the credit card, whatever. Either way. Like, I understand the sentiment of it, but yeah. Okay. So today is the last day on my storefront to get the Liquid Shadow for free. So it's this beautiful pink mauve shade. So with any 3 items on my storefront, that will auto add to cart for you. And today's the last day for that. So if you watched me apply Liquid Shadow the last couple of days, I've done it. Today's Wednesday. I did it Monday and Tuesday. So Monday I used the shade. Yesterday I used the shade that I have in my eye bundle that is going to be more of a brown shade, but then you'll get the pink shade for free. So like one day I showed you the free shade, and the next day I showed you the another shade that's in my bundle. Anyway, that goes away tonight. So if you are interested in that, again, 3 things. It doesn't have to be the 3 things I've put together. It can be you need a restock on a mascara. You need you want to try the eye cream. I mean, you can throw the most random things together. It doesn't matter. So just any 3 things will earn you that free product. And then tomorrow we have a different free product. So if the Liquid Shadows were not your jam, come back tomorrow and I'll tell you what the new product is. All right, I do like to set my BB cream. I like a more matte finish. I really concentrate kind of the T-zone area to start so that the most concentration of the setting powder is there. And then I just sort of blend outwardly. You know, if I'm going to sweat, I'm going to sweat right through here. I'm not really going to sweat like on the middle of my cheeks. I would sweat on the outside of my face, obviously from my hairline and things. But those are the things I think about with a BB cream that I consider, well, one of my favorite foundations. Let's just be frank about that. But I think it's a great foundation for the summertime. And as he was fixing the pool today, I'm like, ooh, can we get in soon? He's like, oh, it'd be a little cold, but yeah. And I'm like, okay. I'm just like pushing, like, make sure it stays good. Because I'm ready. I'm ready to get in. I don't know. It's supposed to rain here. Like, I think it's going to ruin Easter Sunday. And I worked for a church, for one specific church, for 22 years and was part of the group who stressed over, what are we going to do if it rains? What are we going to do if we can't be outside? You know, all of that. And those conversations start the minute the 14-day used to be 10-day forecast way back in the day when I was there. But, you know, now it's the 14-day that's out. And it's like my bosses, I had 2 bosses in 22 years, which I just think is amazing. The longevity of having the same people, it was great. But they were always part of the decision makers on making the call, you know, having the contingency plans in place for if it really does happen, what are we doing? All of that. So I just couldn't help but think of them. Neither of them are still in their position at my old church, but I couldn't help but think of all the times I was in those discussions, and this being the Wednesday before Easter, and now they're calling for hail on the weekend. And, you know, it's like, we would always have these discussions about like, when are the chairs being delivered? When can we cancel them by? Like, are we still paying for outdoor chairs, even if we're, you know, going to have to push it? You know, it's all the questions you have to think about for an outdoor service, and my old church only did sunrise outdoor. They never did like, well, that's not true. What year was that? Wasn't 2020 because we did that virtual, but 2021, I think they did like 3 outside and 2 inside or something. I don't know. It was very interesting. But this year they only have 1 scheduled outside, and I don't know that's going to get to happen. But I'm not in those discussions. Which, you know, many a year. Yeah, they're saying hail. Not good. Oh, I didn't curl my lashes yet. Dang it. I like to curl them earlier in the process. But at least I caught it before I did my eyes. So what does your church do for Easter? Do they have extra services? I know we used to always ask our people, like, help us by going to an earlier service and not going to like the 11 o'clock where the people that only go to church on Christmas and Easter go to like the 11 o'clock, right? The kind of normal church times, 10 or 11 or whatever. So they used to always say, you know, if you can sacrifice and get up early and come to an earlier time. So what do you do? All right, we're gonna get the brows. My brows were acting weird on this side earlier. Okay, that helps too. So I have a sales goal this month, now that we're halfway through the month. And I could use your help. So if there's ever anything that you've thought about or anything I've used that you think you'd like to try, or you've purchased from me in the past and you want to refill, and it's just hadn't come up yet, let me know. And I would really appreciate it. There's a lot of stuff going on, so I am pushing towards that. I am not going to use the liquid shadow today. Again, I used one on Monday, one on Tuesday. I have a meeting to go to later, and so I am going to go with my tried and true because that is the vibe I'm feeling today. So typically I would try and show you all the things. However, I have somewhere to be later, and I'm just feeling a call to do my normal, natural, neutral look. So my key to a neutral look, as I put in the description, is not necessarily a minimalistic look, right? I used 3 things on my cheeks. I'm using 3 things on my eyes. So it's more about the neutral palette that complements your skin, right? So for me, I love using this kind of neutral brown. And then I'm just going to pop a little bit of a deeper color in the outer corner. Not crazy. And underneath, like eyeliner. So I think some people believe that a neutral look is a minimalistic look, and I just do not agree. I think a neutral look is one that I could have on a green shirt, I could go put on a black shirt, I could go put on a blue shirt. This is still gonna look fun, right? It's not peachy, it's not pink, it's not, right? It's just neutral. All right, I'm gonna clean all this up. And then your lip color can really determine the direction you go, right? We can do a dark lip like I did yesterday. We could do a very light pink, kind of a neutral nothing lip like I did on Monday. My days are just running together. There's just so many directions you can go because there is nothing that is screaming a direction here, right? I love that. All right, do some mascara. So you're saying hello if you're watching live, and you're saying replay if you caught the replay. Heard from several people that they've told someone else that they've seen, or they told me actually, one person did. Another person told someone else that they've seen my makeup videos online. And I'm like, well, that is so nice. Had no idea you were watching. I cannot see who watched when you watch the replay. I just see how many people watch. So, you know, potentially I could have 50 people watch the replay and I have no earthly idea who they are. So if you're catching the replay and you're still here this far in, especially, please comment replay, say hello. I just really would like to know who's been following along. Have some questions for you if you've been following along. This is not like your first time to catch this. Just a couple of questions to see what works best for those that are taking the time to watch. I have a couple of ideas, so I'm just going to take a poll of those that are hanging out. I mean, if I could wear this every single day, this combo, I would. This would be like, if I wasn't doing makeup for you and I was just getting ready, BB cream, my contours, this eye look, this would be my every single day look. All right, get that working. See how just doing a little underneath just adds that little pop? All right, and then what lip should we go with? What lip should I do? Let's do this lip. I haven't done this lip in a few days. Now, that's a bright lip, right? Let me show you something. Hold on, let me get something. All right, so I'm gonna use these cleansing cloth things because I want to show you the difference. So I love this look, right? I love this lip. I love a bolder lip. However, if we want to stay truly neutral, let me give you a couple suggestions. Let's play with lipstick. All right, so we've got that off. Now, we could come in, if you want to be totally neutral, come in with your lip liner. And my lips have like no color if I don't have lipstick on. So this is where I struggle and why I think I like a bolder lip typically. But you could just come in, this would be super neutral, with this lip gloss, and this has a slight brown tint to it. What I like about our lip glosses is they almost kind of absorb into your lip, but they keep this gorgeous shine. They're not sticky or anything like that. And I heard that this is our longest standing color. It is our most popular, and it's been around since the inception of our company. So that's something. So do you see how we went from that really bright kind of pink that sort of stood out, right? And it was like, whoa, that's too much. So if I want to stay neutral, this is neutral, right? I've got my normal eye. I just got a lip gloss on that gives me a little more color to my lips than what I had, right? Just my normal self. This would be a everyday super neutral, super neutral. All right, so that is what I have for today. If I can help you with anything, there's some links in the description, or you can comment the word Wednesday and I will see those comments, or you can just message me. Thanks for watching. See you later.